Hello and welcome to my channel. This is going to be the very first in my Valentine's Day 2018 card series, and I wanted to start this series out with a really special card. So it's so special, in fact, there are two cards. I'm going to make both of these cards at the same time in this video using the same materials from this card to that card, and it'll make sense once we get into it. Let me move this out of the way and show you how to make this card. Before I got going, I wanted to show you that this nail design inspired this card design. Give you a close-up look. So you could find inspiration for the cards that you make in anything, and I have a separate inspiration series of videos which you can find by searching my channel, and I hope you'll enjoy those as well as this Valentine series. The inks I'm going to be using is Versafine Onyx Black, Ladybug, and Bahama Blue, both from Memento. I'm also going to be using a red marker. In this case, I'm using Candied Apple Distress Marker. And I need the Wink of Stella glitter brush. This is red. The stamps and dies I'm using today is going to be the stitched rectangle frames from Fawn. Yes, Fawn. I have some assorted dollar Valentines from Echo Park Paper Company. I have the Love Confetti die. I'm also using Spellbinders A2 Matting Basics, but this is optional. I'm only using this die because I wanted to get a really straight rectangle cut out of my mat, and I didn't want to take the extra time to use my Fiskars cutters. But if you're very accurate in your cutting, you can skip this die. I'm also using the Stampin Up hardwood stamp set. This is a very large background stamp. Okay, oh, almost forgot the embellishments. I have rhinestones, and I have these really cute glitter hearts that I got from the dollar store. Okay, so now let me move this out of the way and start into making the first card. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp the background of the wood grain on this craft paper. I brought in my Tim Holtz stamp platform because this is a very large stamp, and I wanted to be sure that I got it all on the paper. So I'm protecting the surface with a piece of scrap paper here, and I'm bringing in my kraft. And with the Bahama Blue, I'm going to ink all over this stamp. Take your time because it's a very large stamp, and you want to make sure that you get good coverage. Sorry for the tap, tap, tap. And I'm doing this step first because I want to ensure that this has time to dry because it's a lot of ink. Excuse my voice, I seem to be fighting a cold or something right now. So you just give a good press. There. This craft paper is larger than the background that I'm going to need because I intend to trim some away. Let's clean this off real quick. All right, move this out and go to the next step. Now I have the three pieces of white cardstock. These two pieces were very similar in size, so I wrote the word scrap on it so I wouldn't get confused. So these two pieces need to be covered with adhesive. You can use Stick It product if you had it, or you could use what I'm using, which is the score tape. I have this very large roll of score tape. I got it from Amazon, and I think this was like $10 for this giant roll. This is very cost effective despite the fact that it was $10. So what I need to do at this point is cover both of these with adhesive. So you just roll it out and lay it right in place. Okay, now I have these 2 cardstock with adhesive on the back. The smaller piece, I'm going to stick the hologram foil to it. So you just take and peel back the paper, the release paper, and just lay the foil right in place. Press it down and then remove the rest of the paper. Make sure you have a good press, but careful, this stuff scratches very easily, so don't accidentally scratch it out with your nails. And it's a little bit larger than I need, so I'm going to just take some scissors and trim that off. It's better when you're doing something like this to have a little bit of salvage to allow for mistakes lining it up. Okay, set that aside. Don't need that now. And now this is going to be die cut. So I'm going to bring in my Big Shot, excuse me, my reach, and to turn it this way. Okay. And I'm going to cut the love letters out of this paper. Okay. So now this is going to be the front for the second card, which I can show you again real quick to remind you. So this is going to be up near the top, and I need it to be straight so that it doesn't look all crazy on my card. So just line it up near the top. Okay, and I think bring it down just a hair. All right, and just run this through. It'll be a little thick because it has the extra paper on it, so I'm going to run it through twice. All right. Oh, now it's sticky. I didn't quite get all the way through, so I'm going to put another piece of paper on top to act as a shim and run it through a third time to make sure that I got all the way through. I could have used my precision base plate to get through here, but I didn't think I'd have this problem, so let's see if this solved it. Yes, I think it cut through. Now I just have to free it. Okay, so now I have the letters, which have been die cut out, and they will have adhesive on it. So just punch this out, very simple. And I'll move this out of the way and move to the next step. Next, I'm going to cut out the black frame. So I'm using the black mat for some paper saving, and I've mentioned this quite a few times at this point, but just for people who are new to the video, anytime you have a mat on the outside, you can use the inside part of the mat to cut out shapes because it'll be covered by the front panel, so it won't be seen. So I'm going to cut this frame out real quick. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this one piece of paper. All right. My cutting mat is getting very well loved, so my papers and everything are sticking to it. So here we go, we're finished with that. Don't throw this away, you need it, of course. And here's the frame. And nothing goes to waste. I'm going to use this part and cut out the words you. And I got that from this die cut from Little Yellow Bicycle, which does love you, happy and forever. So I'm just grabbing that word you. And I want to get at least 3 out of here. 4 might be better, but I'm going to shoot for 3. So you have to just run it through multiple times and get out each one you need. The die was a little bit difficult to get out, so I've added a piece of wax paper behind the die, and you will be able to get the die out very quickly and easily by that little trick. And I just wanted to show you that real quick, because it was a little bit of struggle getting the intricate dies out, but with that, you see it comes right out. It didn't give me any trouble at all. See? And you end up with a little piece of wax paper on top, but you can just pull that off with your pokey tool and it comes right off. And it doesn't harm your die cut at all. Sorry, I have these nails. They don't like grabbing little teeny things. There we go. See? It's a little trick. Okay, now let me move this out of the way and move on to the next step. Now I need to adhere these words together. So I'm bringing that same piece of scrap paper I use as a shim to protect my work surface. And I'm going to use multi-medium matte. Excuse my stamping, but I'm running a little low. Okay, so you just put a little dot here and there. All right. And then just take and line it up right on top of the other. Have a little bit of the middle there. Don't want that. Okay. And it's very forgiving, and you have a few seconds to move it before it becomes a permanent bond. And just line it up, one on top of the other. And this will give you more dimension to an intricate die cut and make it a little bit more substantial and pop out from the paper a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and speed through this real quick. I'll just set a block on that to weigh that down temporarily. And now moving right along with the scrap, turn that over. These stickers that I have are a little bit flimsy and they're see-through, as you can see, but I wanted to have white backing. So I'm going to decide which ones I want to get. I think this one. And just put it right on the white paper. And another small one. And a medium one, this one. Okay, now I'm just going to grab a pair of sharp scissors and trim away the white paper. Okay, now I have all that trimmed, and in case I didn't get all of the little white paper, I'm going to take the red marker and just go around the edge so there'll be no little bits of white showing from the trimming. First I need to trim this down a little bit. This needs to be 5 by 3 3/4. Okay. Now this frame, we're going to glue this right over here. And this will cover this hole here. And then we're going to glue all of these letters in place. Grab them all. And I'm going to use this to help me line it up. But I'm going to speed through this part because you can just see what's going on without me doing too much talking. So I'm going to let the music run and enjoy it. All right, that's the first card. I ran into a little bit of an issue because I was trying not to press this wood grain panel to the black so hard on my work surface that it glued it down, and I didn't press it hard enough, so it was easier for me to put the black frame down, the wood grain on that, and then everything together from there. So let me move on to the second card. Okay, the second card is going to go a lot faster because we already have part of the things that we need for that card. As with the first one, I'm going to use the mat to get the black that I needed for the other parts of the card. Now I'm going to use the black center part, what I have here, and get out the U. But I want to make sure that I only go toward the bottom. Now I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this one, but I only need this much to be adhesive. So I'm going to make sure that I put the paper just covering the area that is not cut out. Okay, now that I have that, pull this back and I'm going to adhere this. Okay, this is more than I needed, but we're just going to go with it. Now I'm going to quickly assemble the front of the card. But before I do that, I'm going to stamp the inside of the card, and that is the same as the other. So the rest of the card is going to be straight assembly. I have an additional O cut out to help me line up the center part. So I'm going to let the music run and assemble the card. that's the finished card for number 2. I have a little bit of the blue here, which I should have trimmed off, but I think it's fine. It just adds a little bit more bling. And that is the finished cards. It went together really quickly. It looked more complicated than it really is, and I hope that you will try something similar yourself. This holographic foil, I got this from the dollar store. I don't know if I mentioned it. And the same with the stickers. So shop the dollar store this Valentine's Day. You really can get some really great things. I'd like to thank you for watching my videos. I hope that you stay tuned for more of the Valentine's Day series. And I hope you subscribe to my channel. And I appreciate all of the positive comments that I'm getting. And I try to reply to every comment. I'd like to thank my brother David for the music that he provides. I hope you are enjoying it as well as I am. I'm going to be traveling to Maryland next month, and while I'm there, I'm going to have a short interview with the man behind the music. Stay tuned for that. I hope you will enjoy it, and my brother is a very interesting character. Okay, everyone, take care and have a great day.